Can't believe I just messed that up that badly.
I'm varnishing the ends to silver.
We're moving on to this big piece of wood, which is going to be the main support for our bed frame. So we're cutting 125 off the length twice for each end of the bed. Alright, I'll just show you what I mean with these bed frame pieces. So that will sit in there between the wall and the end of the van there. So we need to just notch out that corner around there. Those reciprocating saw cuts you just saw me do shouldn't have been like that. They should have been like that, which has ruined this piece and piece over there. Can't believe I just messed that up that badly. Take two.
I'm varnishing the ends to silver. We've just got a devices too hot warning on the phone that we're filming on, so it is definitely too hot in here at the moment. We've just been putting this bed piece on. It is very physical because you have to put a lot of force behind it. Physical for him because he's got to put force behind the bit drill. Physical for me because I've got to try and push the wall in, otherwise it just the wood in, otherwise it just pulls away and then the drill just drills further into the wood and never gets through the metal.
It's almost 30 degrees. I am not built for this kind of temperature.
We're using these self-tappers, or tech screws. They're much longer than the previous ones we were using, and they're a completely different brand. We don't think they're quite as good. The tip seems to blunt much more readily, so it's slightly harder to just get through this. But
I mean,
they are going through.
Some of them go through no problem.
Yeah.
But
I think once you get a few more in and the wood holds itself on a bit better, it's easier. When it's trying to pull all the way off, it's a nightmare. But, you know, one's on.
I'm going to go die in a corner for a minute.
We're mounting our bed frame in two separate pieces because we had to make a cut in one of these because we cut it slightly wrong. It doesn't really matter if these ones are separate, but what will matter is if they're not straight. So what we've done is we've set up our square edge, clamped it onto this one, and then in theory, if we sit this one onto here, it should mount it nice and straight in line with that one.
Fast forward about a year and the whole van build is pretty much done now, except for the bed. So that's pretty much the last thing we're going to build. So we've got these chunky 44 by 44 battens which are going to run down the length of the bed, and then running across the opposite way across the width of the bed we've got these which we're going to use as bed slats. We're going to use quite a lot of these just to give it a lot of support because obviously this bed is going to take the weight of two people.
The next step in building the bed is putting on the bed slats, and we were going to use some 12mm flat battens for that, but after a trip to IKEA we found these Luroy bed slats for a lot less money than that would have cost us, and we also think they're going to be stronger because they're sprung, so I think it's going to work well.
We've just put both sets of our bed slats on the bed now, and it's actually starting to look like a bed now, which is good. The slats were slightly too long, so we've just cut two slats off the end of each set. And what we're going to do now is go around with a little centre punch and mark where we want the holes, then we'll take them off, pilot hole all of them, and come back and secure them down. We've just finished We've just finished pilot holing and countersinking all our bed slats and 2 holes on each, so that was a lot of... It was just a lot, okay?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It's been a lot, okay?
We've pilot holed, we've countersunk, we've oversized the screw holes compared to the screws we're using, so at the moment that screw will just drop straight through that hole, which means when we come to screw it onto our battens here, when weight goes on these slats, they will still be able to flex a bit. Sending Ayesha in first.
I'm going to lie on my side first. Oh, it's a bit uncomfortable, this bed.
How long is it? Not long enough for you.
Oh, I'm not all the way up yet. Longer than I am, but not by much. This is the mattress we're going to be using in our van, and it is the IKEA Malfors mattress, which comes rolled up like this. Our mattress is now fully expanded and it's feeling pretty comfy, so I guess the next thing is to start cutting.
It's not the cleanest cut in the world, but I think that'll do. We've just taken our newly butchered mattress out for a test fit, and now we've got to deal with the back door pillars, which are stopping it going in properly. And then we'll just cut this extra corner off here and down that side. It's going to go dark pretty soon, and today's the only dry day we've got in the forecast, so let's get this mattress in.
Well, hey, that's the bed made, and the end of our build, which means I think we need a bit of a rest.
But next week we're going to be packing the van full of stuff and setting out and hitting the open road, so make sure to subscribe and join us on our travels. See you next time.